All right, 3, 2, 1, and it should be working now. All right, so clearly we still have some severe weather going on, and we have probably a moderate risk to talk about tomorrow. So that is why we did decide to sort of go live here today, is wrap up what we have sort of finishing up now across Minnesota and talk about tomorrow, where we are probably going to be looking at a moderate risk of severe weather. So definitely got to talk about that and make sure everyone's aware about our probable moderate risk tomorrow, as well as whatever else we may see pop up throughout the night. How's it going, Hayden? How's it going, Caleb? How's it going, Midnight Battle? How's it going, Brody? Welcome in, everyone. But we do still have storms across southern Minnesota and parts of South Dakota as well. Our current camera is from Owatonna, Minnesota. It's at the crossroads of Owatonna or I-35. It's on I-35, I believe, Lamond Road. Can't remember if that's the one that I grabbed, but I'm pretty sure. Redbird, I did not get a new PC. I have had the same PC for a very long time, actually, at this point in time. Monroe, Wisconsin, looking pretty quiet. Max rate inbound, maybe eventually. Who knows? Who knows? Brody is the first person to fall victim to Nightbot of the night. Nightbot is already on its tantrum out there, attacking people. More things set up here. All right. Nightbot pulling a King Von again. Bro, Nightbot is prime King Von. Like, for real. How's it going, Stacy? Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone, from Max's channel. Thank you so much to Valley11 for the $20 super chat. I do think we're probably going to basically be talking about flash flooding and a few remnant severe gusts over the next couple of hours. But of course, we have to talk about our... oh, Max ended the Zoom meeting. Of course, we have to talk about our probable moderate risk and potential derecho that we're going to have tomorrow. Thrash Bandicoot, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. How's it going, Robert? And YouTube Studios telling me my audio bit rate's not high enough. GG's. Moderate derecho, it is possible. As you get slapped by Nightbot for the second time for using capital letters, W. But we're going to get into the ARRR for tomorrow shortly here. But it is definitely something that we're going to have to talk about and definitely going to have to keep an eye on. Tomorrow's weather pattern. Basically, we're going to eventually see this system, obviously, fizzle out here over the next couple of hours, and we're going to see an outflow boundary set up. This outflow boundary that we see set up from our convection tonight will have a big impact on our storms tomorrow. And that's kind of why the risk is the way that it is right now, because we're sort of waiting to see how tonight's convection may impact tomorrow's convection. But either way, models are currently showing quite the severe system tomorrow. How's Sioux Falls doing? Sioux Falls is doing good. We do have one storm that's technically moving towards Sioux Falls, but that's about it. Do you think this storm is going to make its way to Quebec? No, it's probably not going to make its way to Quebec. We do actually have a few storms up in Canada, but nothing tornadic anymore. We did probably have a few tornadoes in this part of Ontario earlier, but I never saw any pictures of that. All of our storm chasers were in mostly the U.S. Tyler, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Fairmont, you guys are doing good. It's raining there, obviously, or about to be. This convection is going to make its way over you, but it is going to be sub-severe by the time that it gets to Fairmont. Any comments for weather in Menominee Falls? Honestly, not much. Not much is going to be going on in Menominee Falls. All right. Here's the ARRR model that all of you guys have probably seen at this point, but we're going to take another look at it. Starting off on composite reflectivity. This is the 0Z ARRR 19 hours from now, and we can see this large, which would almost certainly be a derecho, take place and move across all of the Dakotas and Minnesota tomorrow, basically all the way from noon to midnight. That's when we could expect to see that damaging line of storms. Even more concerning than the composite reflectivity is the wind gusts that we may see. So taking a look at our 10-meter wind gusts, which is the proper way to measure wind gusts, we can see a lot of the day we're looking at max wind gusts of as soon as 2 p.m. over 100 miles an hour. I think 114 at 5 p.m. Then it gets even more significant than that as we sort of reach a peak derecho time around the early afternoon of the night. Wind gusts of up to 120. Obviously, this is a model. This exact picture will probably not happen, but it is still a sign of what we could expect to see tomorrow. And the other thing that I want to mention too is if you sort of get a little sort of dive into exactly what the wind field looks like, is there's not really just two wind fields. And what we're going to have going on is, because of how quick this derecho is forecast to move, we're actually going to see an area of low pressure develop behind it. And this area of low pressure is going to suck wind and air from around the storm into that area of low pressure, basically causing a second wind gust. So we're going to see winds behind the storms filling in that area of low pressure, as well as winds on the leading edge of that storm, just associated with the outflow of that severe weather. Gloria, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I am 21 years old. Oh, I do not want to update Epic Pen. Thanks for asking, though. Where is this storm making its way to? Are you talking about the one right now or the one tomorrow? Because right now, basically, this storm is just starting to dissipate, basically falling out of the sky, if you will, across the majority of the southern parts of Minnesota. But the one tomorrow, that's basically going to make its way across all of the Dakotas and Minnesota as well. Matt, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. By the way, guys, if you are new to the channel, if you are here for the very first time today, almost every time that we do still have a lingering severe threat after Max is live, we go live here to sort of continue talking about what's going on. So make sure if you're new to the channel, you are hitting that subscribe button and click the notification bell as well. We are working on a bunch of different video ideas for this channel, and we're live basically every time that a severe threat continues after Max is live. There's actually a decent chance that we could hit 34,000 subscribers this stream. We are almost at 33,700. In fact, we just hit it. So 300 away from 34,000 subscribers. We just get a new severe thunderstorm warning in South Dakota. This is for Minor, Hanson, Davidson, and Sanborn counties for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch sized hail. This would be the storm that is going to hit Sioux Falls if any storm does manage to hit Sioux Falls. Right now, it is moving on a vector or a storm motion where it would probably go north, but I do expect it to sort of be hit by the outflow of this convection, and that is going to turn it more towards Sioux Falls. So Sioux Falls, keep an eye out for that. Brookings, South Dakota tonight. Almost all of South Dakota, you're out of the tornado threat for tonight, especially, actually not even just especially, probably just all of South Dakota. There is some lingering tornado threat with some of our storms. Probably, honestly, there's not much lingering tornado threat. But if there was going to be any storm that was going to do it, it'd most likely be this one. Everything else is the outflow surged way, way past it. But still have a lot of heavy precipitation that's yet to fall. So this area of storms will eventually make its way south over Brookings. What's the chance for a moderate risk for wind tomorrow? Honestly, probably 50%. Especially if what we see on the ARRR is backed up by other models, that is something that we could definitely expect to be quite significant. Anything severe for Wisconsin? Probably not tonight, probably tomorrow, though. Breaking from Hastings, a very loud thunder just soiled my pants. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of thunder in the Hastings area. Even more off to the south of you. But definitely some thunder in the area, that's for sure. Basically anywhere where you're seeing these storms, there's going to be a lot of lightning and thunder as we just see the static electricity of the whole system break down. Allison Rogers, thank you so much for the 5 gifted channel memberships. It's like Mariah, Mama, Ryan, Stefan, and the boss. Go ahead and give a huge shout out to Allison Rogers for the gifted memberships. How the northern plains be? Quite quiet outside of tomorrow. Like literally, we have tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, and after that, it's quiet. So we have a couple more days of this severe weather stuff before we're going to be done for a while. If you guys see up above this whole stack here, or actually more of off that direction, it says severe T-storm. If there was any tornado possible, severe thunderstorm warnings, that would say tornado possible, or late tornado possible to be more specific, and it does not say that, so that means that we have no tornado possible severe thunderstorm warnings. When I said that last stream, I spoke one into existence, but we're going to hope that doesn't happen this time. Chance for a late tornado tomorrow. Honestly, if what we see on models is what happens tomorrow, the chance for a tornado will be almost zero, just because those storms are going to be moving so fast, pushing so much outflow. They're just not going to be able to produce tornadoes. We do have a tropical storm. I saw someone just asking about this. We do have a tropical storm south of Hawaii. There's really not much I can show you with this, but it is producing 40-mile-per-hour winds, and this is the first tropical area of convection in the Central Pacific to receive a name this severe season. It's been very, very quiet, but been very quiet tropical wise almost everywhere. How's it going, Jane? Are you ever going to have your own Discord server? I do have my own Discord server. It's just not fully set up, but that will be there done, or that will be done eventually. Elite Cody, thanks for the $5 super chat when looking at Rochester, Minnesota. Do you use the Shakopee or lacrosse radar? I normally use lacrosse. I think it's just a little better. Actually, let me drag down my other radar program here that's currently still in Virginia from when we saw that tornado way earlier. I'm actually going to shrink this window just a little bit, maybe, if it behaves. Not behaving. If I shrink this window and you look down here, let me circle the box. This box right here shows the elevation of the radar beam above the ground. I'll click on the Shakopee radar and hold it over Rochester, and we can see that we have a beam height basically around 6,700 feet, and from the lacrosse radar site, we have a beam height of 5,300 feet. So there's not really any good radar site for Rochester, unfortunately, but the lacrosse radar site is most likely the better of the two, just because the radar beam is closer to the ground. Owatonna, actually, it looks like we may have a semi-strengthening line of storms about to come through Owatonna. I know we have people watching from Owatonna. Probably won't see a severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Like our camera that is supposed to be in Owatonna just froze, so I'm going to grab a different camera. Switch out these cameras. Alright, this new camera is on I-35 at Bridge Street in Owatonna. So if you're in Owatonna, you know where that's at. Interrogation Files, thank you so much for the almost every single stream. 5 gifted. Guys, if you've been here before, you know who Interrogation Files is. You've heard his name. Kathy, Acacia, Kelly, Mike, and Aviation Dreams. Make sure you guys give a huge shout out to Interrogation Files. Also, Melissa Cruz as well. Thanks so much for the $10 donation. Love that you're a cat, man. Hey, if you watched the ad in Max's video today, it was barely even an ad. We were just talking about pet treats, but you can see all my pets that I have here in that video. Thank you so much to Melissa and Interrogation Files. Definitely starting to see some gusty winds there near Owatonna. North Carolina is okay, Frosty. Is the purple like strong wind? No, so what we're looking at is reflectivity, and it's basically a measure of how much stuff is in the air. So the more yellow, red, pink, or blue it is, the more stuff that's in the air. Like, quite literally, that's what it is. It's radar beam goes out, it hits the stuff in the air and goes back. The more stuff there is, the more the beam that goes back, and the brighter it is in color. The only real way to tell what winds we're looking at this far away from the radar site is to use our METARs, which don't update that frequently, but we can see that we had a 40-mile-per-hour gust in Waseca as of the last update there. We can also use our velocity, but because we're like 5,000 feet above the ground, that's not that it's not that accurate. Also, while I don't think this is going to produce a tornado here by any means, this is something that I've seen the National Weather Service issue a tornado warning for in the Owatonna area before. So I don't think there's going to be a tornado, but know that there may be a tornado warning. Is it beam height AGL or MSL? It is AGL. How's Iowa looking for tonight? Iowa, we're definitely going to see some remnant precipitation from the storms that we have in Minnesota, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. Sounds like more than 40 in Owatonna. It easily might be. I mean, the outflow boundary just crossed you, and we're starting to get closer to the precipitation. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Fairmont, you guys are definitely getting some winds as well. Of course, we haven't seen this update in the last 20 minutes or so, but we've seen at least 33 mile per hour winds. Pretty soon here, we'll start to see some wind gust reports. Why? Thank you so much for the $10 PayPal donation. Gonna go look to see if we have any storm reports out of Minnesota. Any gusty winds? We have not at this point. Jack's Premium, which is the pet treats that we were just talking about. Thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. In case you think we're kidding about these pet treats, by the way. I literally have an entire box of pet treats right here that I give my cats and my dogs. If my cat wasn't asleep, I would show you guys me feeding him treats, but he's asleep and I'm not going to wake him up. Bring Simcoe some treats? I will. Superior, Wisconsin, you guys should be good tonight. You still doing hydrology? I am. I'm probably like a month away from starting school at this point, which I don't even want to think of, but it's the unfortunate reality. I lived in Minnesota for 34 years, never heard of Fairmont. I took my driver's test in Fairmont, actually. Lindsay, thanks for the $5 super chat. North of Eau Claire by Ladysmith tonight. Not much that is going to be going on there. We're basically just going to see the remnants of the overshooting tops from our precipitation as it's falling down. So that's just going to be a bunch of light rain drizzling down. Yeah, guys, listen to my parents. There's the link, and then you can use code Velocity for 20% off your first order of pet treat. Is your cat able to eat those new treats without issues? 100%. Oreo loves them. Hoping at least some lightning and a shelf makes it to central Iowa. I mean, I don't know if we're going to see lightning, but there is a chance we may at least see... not really a shelf cloud, but maybe a roll cloud come through. I mean, you can see our outflow boundary right here, and it is still surging off to the south and the east, depending on where you are relative to the outflow boundary. But I don't think it's going to make it to central Iowa in a sort of impressive version, unfortunately. What's the red and greens on the map? So no, these are METARs. It's basically weather stations. The red is the temperature and the green is the dew point. So this 79 means the temperature at that spot is 79 and the dew point is 75. So 79 over 75 is what we call that, and you can see they're stacked on top of each other. That's why people sort of say that dew points are a 79 over, or the environment is 79 or a 75 or whatever it is. Is the storm heading for Sioux Falls looking any worse? It is not looking, honestly, that much more concerning than it was. However, we did just get basically a confirmation that there are still 60-mile-per-hour winds on this storm via Mesonet station. Got pounded some rain in El Paso, Texas. Yes, we do. I think we do. Yeah, we still have one flash flood warning in El Paso. It is going to expire in 22 minutes, but there's been a lot of flooding reports coming out of the El Paso area. I'm honestly surprised we didn't see more flooding in Minnesota and South Dakota today, where we basically just saw a storm sit over the same area for hours on end. Thoughts on lacrosse tonight and tomorrow? Tonight, probably not that much. Tomorrow, all depends on what actually ends up happening tomorrow. Unfortunately, tomorrow is one of those situations where we kind of just have to play it by ear, see what the morning environment looks like to know exactly what's going to play out tomorrow. Caleb, you do not need to eat pet treats. It's got a alert from AccuWeather. There's a special weather statement in effect for Owatonna. Probably going to be because of this 47-mile-per-hour wind gust that we had reported. There's that polygon right there. For winds of up to 50 mile per hour and half-inch sized tail with the storm system that we're about to have move through Owatonna. Feed Max one of those treats. If we hit 1 million subscribers tonight, Max will eat a dog treat. I'm pretty sure we could convince him of that. There will not be any tornado risk in Des Moines tonight, Brian. Or tomorrow. Probably any time for a while. Does SVC skip risks like slight to moderate and just skip enhanced? Sort of. I mean, every categorical outlook they issue, it's not really relative to the last one at all. It's exactly what they're forecasting for that point in time. So if it looks like it's going to be a moderate risk, regardless of whatever the last outlook said, they're going to go ahead and issue that moderate risk. Oh, yawning. My bad, guys. Probably just made 4,000 of you guys yawn. Are you in Wisconsin or Minnesota? I'm in Wisconsin right now. Any chance the Shady Grove trailer park will take a direct hit? Nah, you're probably chilling, Cletus. How about if we reach 35k subs tonight? I have a feeling Max would not be eating a dog treat if we reach 35,000 subs. Where's the location of this derecho that may happen tomorrow? Basically anywhere in the Dakotas or Minnesota. Once again, this is what it looks like on the 00Z HRRR. See this basically giant storm system starting all the way around noon, just making its way through Minnesota. I will not be getting hit with storms tonight, Mercedes, unfortunately. like tomorrow's gonna be one of those days where you don't exactly know what's gonna happen until the last minute. That is exactly what tomorrow's going to be. Almost to a T. Do you read our W. Riley and Riley's a Goat comments in Max's live? I do, but because of like how much stuff I have going on during Max's streams, I'm not able to respond to them. Tornado Pagey, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, guys. If you don't know who Tornado Pagey is, she's one of the storm chasers that we work with. Basically, anytime Max is live, they're out there seeing all the storms that other people aren't able to. So if you haven't subscribed to Tornado Pagey, make sure you guys go do that. Everyone say hello to Tornado Pagey and Bryce. Have you ever been in really bad weather before? I have. And worse than bad as well. You know, I've been wondering why my face has been so blown out all day. I don't think anyone else, like, understands how strange this is, but in order for my face to not... I have to have that light behind me turned on, otherwise my face is blown out of proportion every single time I'm live. And I forgot to turn that light on. But now my camera should be better. I should look more like the color of a normal human being instead of shiny. Good night, Greskar. Sorry if I said that wrong. I just got up and walked away mid-sentence. No. I couldn't, like, once I figured out that that light wasn't on, I had to turn it on. Just because it was annoying me. Because I can see my face out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, dang. That's messed up. Is Florida being affected? No. What direction is the storm moving in? Basically, we have a Boeing line segment that's basically sort of just moving all over the place. We did just get another special weather statement off to the southeast of Owatonna for, once again, 50-mile-per-hour winds. How's it going, Augie? Have a good night. You and Max should do an ASMR mukbang with Jack's dog treats. My dad one time got inside the edge of a bear's cage of an active tornado and his friend's house got hit by it minutes later. Like, dang, he was just trying to go to Walmart. Don't get in the bear's cage. That's from personal experience. Or from personal experience, the bear's cage is a terrible spot to be. And the one time I got in the bear's cage, it was the Greenfield, Iowa tornado, which a lot of you, I'm pretty sure you guys know what tornado the Greenfield tornado was. I got in the bear's cage. I heard hail. I'm like, nope, we're done. Not going after that. Not driving through precipitation towards a tornado that I can't see. So we turned around and went to Oklahoma and caught, I think, El Dorado the next day. How's Wabasha looking tonight? Wabasha is probably just banged the mic. Wabasha is probably going to be pretty quiet by the time storms get there. Broad rotation south of Lewiston, Montana. I don't see. Is there any? Actually, there might be broad rotation here. We'll see. Maybe very, very broad, but definitely not going to produce a tornado. Jeanette, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Still 47-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Owatonna. Could Madison, Wisconsin see any isolated severe thunderstorms late tonight? You may be able to see some remnant thunderstorms, but definitely not anything severe. What's the bear's cage? So the bear's cage, like, we're going to draw a picture. Say this is your supercell, right? And this is your tornado. Wow, that's a terrible supercell. Completely ignore that. We already know I'm not good at drawing. But the RFD basically pulls the precipitation around the edge of the rotation. And this storm just gets all overloaded, or I guess the circulation just gets all overloaded with precipitation, hail, debris, and everything else. It basically envelops that tornado. That is the bear's cage. And if you're inside the bear cage, it basically means there's the tornado, there's you, and then there's precipitation. So for any escape route, you need to go through the precipitation to get there. Also, we did just get an upgrade to our warning for Owatonna. This is now a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we said it like 30 minutes ago when we went live that we thought there was going to be probably stronger winds here as we see this storm strengthen a little bit. We do now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Owatonna. And our camera is basically right inside of this, right above our head. East Dragon, Dodge County, you might see some severe thunderstorms there, some heavy rain, lots of lightning, heavy winds, but that's about it. The tornado today was stronger than Gary, like the way it took the building was terrifying, and it wasn't even the worst part of the tornado. Today's tornado was like most definitely a violent tornado. Like there's no doubt about it that was like a strong to violent tornado. Those are like, that reminded me very much of the Ashby tornado, and then some. Do you have a Facebook? I do not. Actually, you know, this is going to be funny, but I do not know how to use Facebook. Like, I cannot figure out that social media platform for the life of me. J7, no, this is not going to produce a tornado, anything comparable to what happened earlier. I think the house exploding wasn't even directly impacted by the tornado, so The house itself didn't like actually explode. It looked like it exploded, but what happened is basically we had our tornado and we had our super strong RFD winds getting pulled into that tornado. And what these winds do is they don't only sort of just like go straight, they also pull up towards the vortex. So what I'm assuming happened is this house got hit by winds that were pulling up towards the vortex. So we see basically the house get swept away and just get ripped up the tornado basically. And that's why it looked like it exploded, even though basically the house just got blown to the side and then pulled up the tornado. Because, I mean, the tornado is sucking. It's sucking air from the lower levels of the atmosphere, or from the lower levels all the way up to the upper levels of the atmosphere, trying to reach an equilibrium. That's almost effectively why we see tornadoes. And that's why we see it pull all that debris up. What was the worst tornado you've seen? Probably the Harlan, Iowa wedge. I think that was the one that was like some insane, I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it was like easily an EF5 tornado on the Dow. Northwest Iowa potential, not much going on. Why is there so much flooding lately from Texas to Illinois to Ohio? This is the normal time of year to see flooding. I think the issue with flooding, though, is it's always so... it's basically so far in between, like, severe flooding events. Like, yeah, we had flooding in Texas this year, but it basically only impacted a very small portion of a very small county. No one else in Texas saw that level of flooding. But next year, somewhere else in Texas, or somewhere else in Oklahoma, or somewhere else, anywhere else in the U.S. may see that level of flooding, and they're like, oh my god, this never happened, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And it's like, yes, it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for that specific point, but for the rest of the country, like, we're used to seeing these events. It's just that people never expect it to be their turn. Duluth is on a 5% risk, but nothing actually fired off there. Yeah, Duluth, you guys got scammed out of your weather today. Kitty Cat, there's actually no real floods ongoing in Minnesota. I mean, we do have a flash flood warning for the Twin Cities area, but we have two flash flood warnings in Nevada, one in Virginia and one in New Mexico, and that's actually about it. That's a W, Cletus. Gotta have priorities in life. When Twitter first came out, I tweeted, how do I use Twitter? That is my one and only tweet. Hey, that is a good one and only tweet. That's a banger right there. Is Rochester to La Crosse fairly safe? Yes, yes it is. That whole, like, I-90 corridor right there. Heard there was an EF6 tornado in Wisconsin in 1975. Well, we didn't even use the EF scale in 1975. Nor did we have, I think, even a EF5 or EF6 level tornado. There's only been one 6 category, and it was Xenia, Ohio. It is no longer rated a 6, and it was not on the EF scale, it was on the F scale. Dat Caddy, thank you so much for coming a 2% channel member. Are you streaming tomorrow? Max will almost 100% be live tomorrow. If there's still severe weather by the time he's done tomorrow, I will of course be live as well. Why is it so warm in Wisconsin? Dude, don't ask me. Like earlier, I was getting something out of my car in my driveway, and I was like, dang, how hot is it? It's like 130 degrees is what my Kestrel said that it was on the dashboard of my car. Obviously, it's in a hot car, but still, how in the world is it that hot? I saw you chasing the other day. We were chasing the other day when we had a little bit of a local tornado threat. For anyone who watched that feed on Radar Omega, there was glitching with the camera. We were able to figure out why that was glitching. It will be fixed next time. So, no more 22 FPS streams, because that was the exact frame rate of that stream, was 22 frames for whatever reason. We tracked down that issue and were able to fix it. By the way, guys, we just hit 33,900 subscribers, so we are 100 subscribers away from 34,000. There's 3,438 of you watching right now. So if 1/3 of you aren't subscribed, or not even 1/3, but actually, let me look. I think last stream, about 1/3 of you guys were not subscribed to the channel. So we have even just a small portion of the 1,000 of you that are most likely not subscribed to the channel. We will hit 34,000 subscribers tonight. I'm not subscribed. You're talking in chat, you're subscribed. Got you there. Have you ever encountered Canadian geese? Unfortunately. Most annoying things on the golf course. Do you stream on this channel when chasing? We did not last time, just because it was basically the first time that we've tested with our brand new streaming setup and all the equipment we had. We were only on the Radar Mega app, but in the future, we will be live on this anytime that we are live anywhere else as well. Alpaca, yes, you guys will be safe tonight. Basically, the only part of the storm that's somehow attempting to remain severe is the area by Owatonna. Honestly, I would not be surprised if the area over by Brookings is no longer severe, as well as our cell that's slowly headed towards Sioux Falls. What is the relative area you cover here? Anywhere in the U.S. where there's severe weather, either Max and I will be covering it. Favorite local cheese? Now, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, and you're going to be killing me. Oh, what's it called? Now I need to figure it out. Oop. Just full screen tweet deck. Why can't I think of the name of it? Mullins cheese. That is my favorite local cheese to me. If you guys are from the central Wisconsin area, you know what Mullins cheese is, and you know it's delicious. Now, there's been rare Alaska coverage. Has there ever been Hawaii coverage? Actually, I have a video on this channel about severe weather, somewhat around, or what I guess it wasn't technically severe weather, but tropical weather in and around Hawaii. So yes, if there's something going on in Hawaii, we will cover it. The storm going over Redwood Falls will most likely not hit the Twin Cities, and if it does, it will not be nearly as strong as what it is now. Ellsworth makes good cheese as well. If you go to Quick Trip, you know the Ellsworth cheese curds, and you know how amazing those are. What areas in Wisconsin are getting hit? Honestly, not much. We only have severe thunderstorm warnings in Minnesota and South Dakota right now. We also have a random warning in Montana and another random warning in North Carolina. It will get an enhanced risk for severe storms tomorrow in Minnesota. We are going to get at least an enhanced risk tomorrow, if not a moderate risk. Have you ever covered anything in Utah? Actually, I think it was 3 streams ago we talked about something happening in Utah. Had some ISO dry T-storms, which are basically thunderstorms without precipitation, still producing lightning that increase fire risk across the area. And we talked about those. Dew Point is awfully strange sky tonight. It is very humid. Has Max ever been to Quick Trip? He is not. Unfortunately, he doesn't understand. No idea how the storm near Rochester is still severe. Actually, this was just producing severe winds, and that is why they upgraded it. I believe there was they say radar indicated, but there were public reports of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Is the wind threat making the enhanced risk or moderate risk? Yes, tomorrow's wind risk is the insane risk for tomorrow. Need to head to Wisconsin to get some cheese, it sounds like. They have some decent cheese here in Minnesota, but I heard Wisconsin cheese is better. Wisconsin cheese is better. As someone with a Minnesota driver's license, Wisconsin cheese is better. There are good cheese places in Minnesota, but I honestly don't know if the one I'm thinking of even exists anymore. I'm assuming either my mom or my dad knows the exact place I'm thinking of and knows whether or not it exists. Michelle, thanks so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Jason, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Get some W's in the chat for Jason. Thanks so much for the kind words, Logan. Went to college in Winona, and honestly, some of the best bars they have. Incredible cheese curds. Winona is basically like wannabe Wisconsin when you think about it. Cheese Cave closed. See, now that's unfortunate because their cheese was some of the greatest cheese I've ever had. We should just rename the stream Cheese Chat, basically. That's all we're doing anymore. There's someone else who knows what the Cheese Caves is. Or the Cheese Caves are. The Cheese Cave, now, they had some good cheese. We're probably going to summon Max's cat by talking about cheese so much. Ellsworth? Yeah, we talked about Ellsworth. You have an official cheese head? I have one. I guess my parents have one, but I don't have it with me. There might be a cheese head in this. I mean, I am in Wisconsin. How's the weather in Northfield going to be like for the rest of the night and tomorrow? Northfield, the storms have basically gone through there, I believe. But tomorrow we may be looking at a derecho, which we're really just going to have to wait and see. The Quick Trip cheese-filled breadsticks are my go-to. Those are very elite. All of Quick Trip food is elite. The storm headed to Sioux Falls actually have 80-mile-per-hour winds like the velocities say? Almost certainly it does not. I think it's probably producing winds up to 60, which is what ASOS station indicated when it last moved over a weather station. I guess that wasn't a ASOS, that was a personal weather station, but a weather station nonetheless, and it said 60-mile-per-hour winds. Rochester, almost certainly not going to see a tornado tonight. Less than 0.1%. There's basically nothing going on velocity-wise. What in the world? Guys, we've unlocked Radar Omega triple panel. This isn't even supposed to be a thing. I don't know how it's working, but I have 3 radar panels. I actually used just one of these. Oh, not gonna let me interact with them. In case anyone ever wanted 3 radar panels, there you go. I'm getting a picture of this. This is a moment in history, if you will. So we're gonna go ahead and give that the good old restart. Don't want no triple panel. Back to the single panel. New radar version unlocked, guys. They actually, I think they do. Yeah, they have quad panel. But like this, there's just too much going on here. It's actually not even letting me open it. We're going back to dual panel. Yeah, that's more like it. Dual panel is actually usable. Quad panel only makes sense on like GR2 when you don't want to show it to anyone. The super secret hidden Radar Omega triple panels for elite forecasters only. Yeah. Not even something you can like unlock. Like, you just gotta know the stuff and then it'll just magically appear. My Steelers have your old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Should be an interesting season with him as quarterback. I mean, we did beat you in the Super Bowl with him, so definitely interesting to go play for a team that you beat in the Super Bowl. All right, I'm going to put this into motion. I'll be back in like 12 seconds. I am back. That was more than 12 seconds. Oops. Whoa, 153, 154. Guys, that was 12 seconds. I promise. Exactly 12 seconds. On the dot. I counted. Chair is Rochester, okay? I know we are not talking to my chair. At 11:55 p.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous cat was located in my kitchen, moving east at 5 miles per hour. Chair told me to evacuate. Yeah, this is a News 9 Chairnado emergency. News 9 now. News 9 is elite ball knowledge for weather. I do not think I've been to Alpine Valley. However, I know what Alpine Valley is. At 8:30 a.m., a confirmed large and destructive coffee machine was located near the counter, moving nowhere at 0 miles per hour. Terrible. Only been to Devil's Head and Cascade. I've been to Cascade once, I believe. I've been to a lot of ski places across, at least south central Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Faribault, not much going on in Faribault. Elaine, thanks so much for renewing your membership for the 3rd month. Everyone needs to give Elaine 3 W's in chat that aren't capitalized because Nightbot will time you out. But 3 W's in chat. Lutzen, Minnesota is top notch. I've been to Lutzen once and they had almost no snow when I was at Lutzen. Like almost literally none. Exactly almost literally none. Not intimidated. Thanks for the $3 super chat. Wow, I was talking really fast. Ever traveled to New York for skiing? I have not. If we hit 34K tonight, Mr.Dibble has to go out in public and film himself. I am the one who cheese while hitting the world's largest gritty. Absolutely not. I will not be doing that for 34,000 subscribers. Speaking of which, we are 3 subscribers away from 34,000. Let me grab it real quick. Right there. 33,997. Cheese tasting stream? Now that we should do. That is some peak members only content. Guys, we did it. Thank you so much for 34,000 subscribers now. I think that means we're 1,000 subscribers away from my dad doing the gritty. Now 995 subscribers away from you all getting to see my dad do the gritty. Oh, and it's full screen. Yeah. You know what? Let's full screen this for a second. Look at this progress. Up, up, and away, if you will. That's some pretty good growth there. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for 34,000 subscribers. Oh, wow. Who asked? Wow, look at that. The VCs decided to show up. Tigray, Caleb, Will, Max, I can see you guys in VC plotting this. In fact, I might just go ahead and start moving you. Just like mix you guys up a little bit. Scramble some stuff. It wasn't me. I can see you plotting and ploying. Max gonna do the gritty? I don't know. Who knows? Well, I can't read that, but what in the world? That's peak comedy right there. Come on, Will, lock in. Seagray, lock in. You gonna eat one of those dog treats? No, Cletus, but from the comments I've seen in chat, I know who would eat dog treats, if you catch my drift. Can Cheese Curd the cat do the gritty? Max, can Cheese Curd do the gritty? Just celebrate and make a video of you eating cheese with your cats at 1 mil. That is an elite celebration for 1 million subscribers. Thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Extremely mid now. Has been for a while. I ain't no dog. I ain't eating no dog treats. I ain't eating no dog treats either. Will guess the correct answer. Will was on lock. Will locked in. Why is Nightbot on a rampage? Because Nightbot is always on a rampage. See, Gray, the fact that I can read that message is absolutely atrocious. We've reached the brain rot portion of this stream. As Nightbot deletes Bryson's message. Bryson, it's okay. We'll avenge you. Don't listen to mean old Nightbot. Subscribe? Subscribe to who? I mean, everyone talking here has already subscribed to me. And Max, most likely. So I guess they might as well just go subscribe to you, Caleb, right? What will happen first? An EF6 tornado, Category 6 hurricane, or the Vikings win a Super Bowl? Probably an EF6 hurricane with an EF12 wall cloud. And 14 wedges at the exact same time happen concurrently before the Vikings win a Super Bowl. We're not bringing Worcestershire sauce back into chat. No more Worcestershire sauce talk. Can't even say that dang word. We know there's multi-vortex tornadoes, but what about multi-wedge tornadoes? Good question. How's it going, Brayton? What city is in the camera? The camera is in the city of Owatonna. Who wins the Super Bowl first? Browns or the Vikings? The Vikings are never going to win a Super Bowl, and I'm so excited to say that. Spicy Pickle, thanks for the $5 super chat. Dibble, sir, the Vikings were good when Sam Darnold revived them, and now my Seattle Seahawks stole them. Hey, it's not the first time the Vikings have given something to Seahawks. Such as a free trip to the Super Bowl when Blair Walsh missed a 27-yard field goal, if you're a Vikings fan. All right, guys, it is 11:06 p.m. We've been live for an hour and 9 minutes. We're probably going to be live for almost 12 hours tomorrow, so we are going to start to wrap things up here. We're going to take one last look at the ARRR just to give you guys a quick, I guess not a quick peek because we talked about it multiple times already, but a quick glimpse at what tomorrow could look like. So this is, of course, the now infamous 0Z ARRR, and this is the possible derecho that we are expecting tomorrow, starting all the way at 11 a.m. before it basically reaches peak strength around the dinner time into evening hours before eventually bowing out sometime around midnight. If this happens tomorrow, this will be a moderate risk. If this picture is the picture that the SPC decides to go with, there's absolutely no doubt about that. Either way, almost certain to see an enhanced risk tomorrow. But other than that, our severe weather for tonight has basically completely fallen apart. We may see some 60 or 70 mile per hour winds move into Sioux Falls sometime over the next couple of hours. Rochester, you might catch the winds of this severe thunderstorm just on the edge, but we are done with tornadoes for the day. The next big severe weather event that we have to talk about is going to be tomorrow. We just showed that on the ARRR, but until then, just stay weather aware. Have a way to receive the warnings just in case, and tune in to Max's stream tomorrow if you're in the Dakotas, Minnesota, or anywhere else. Just go ahead and tune in and track the derecho. We're probably going to see warnings upwards of 100 miles per hour tomorrow. May see wind gusts as high as 120 as indicated on the ARRR. So tomorrow is definitely going to be a very long day of severe weather. So I will see you guys tomorrow for that severe weather. But until then, goodbye.